Three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Founders Log. If this is your first time listening, thank you and welcome. If this is your second time or you've listened before, welcome back. I'm your host, Calvin Wineland, with the behind the scenes to American Butchers JERKi. Today is August 21st, Saturday, episode number 23. The Founders Log is designed at showing you a behind the scenes to American Butchers JERKi. We talk about the past week, we talk about the present week, and we talk about the future of American Butchers JERKi. Here, we do a behind the scenes to giving you exactly what it takes to run a business, talking about the successes and failures that we've experienced so that you don't have to. But some of those is all about learning on yourself. Sometimes we get really passionate and really excited about certain things. Other times we get serious and we start talking about the different goals and ambitions. But without further ado, we should start exactly where we left off, which was last week, the goals and ambitions that we set ourselves to now. How did we achieve those goals? What happened in the past week? Did we learn anything? Did we make anything happen? So without further ado, last week we had talked about the ACFT prep. That was something that we had been doing for the past 2 weeks. It was this idea that we set up this physical fitness event. We partnered with a fitness organization, a new platform called Acid Gambit. We talked to them about setting up a ACFT prep for not only myself, but for our community, our kind of organization, all of you to try and do and get with it as well. This was essentially designed for those of you who don't know what the ACFT, it's the Army Combat Physical Test. Essentially, it's a new fitness test that the Army is incorporating and getting rid of the original 2 minutes of push-ups, 2 minutes of sit-ups, and a 2-mile run. They're now moving into a little advanced program to target a lot more areas, make it more combat fitness oriented. So this was something that I wanted to do personally, and I wanted to open up the doors to all of you. Well, this past week, we actually had to put that on pause because we have taken on a new job for last week and now the next week moving forward with our real gig with the Army. I can't go into too many details about it, but we essentially started this new job, and given that it's only a 2-week kind of event, it has required us to do some pretty odd hours. So I couldn't give the dedication that the program deserves. So essentially what we're doing is we're putting it on pause until next Sunday. So in our next iteration, we'll talk about it. But we're putting the fitness on pause so that we can focus primarily on the current thing that we're doing with the military. This isn't going to say that I'm going to stop working out. Obviously, I'm going to still continue to do some working out here and there, and I'll share on the Instagram just about that. So if you're not already following us on Instagram, you should definitely go check it out. We post a lot of different things, from things that we're appreciative about, things that kind of drive us and help us get up in the morning, all the way to some of the fitness that we're working on, all the way to sharing some of our amazing pictures that our audience sends regarding our beef jerky. We're super active, trying to become more active on the Instagram, and that kind of segues us into our next topic, which was actually the idea of deciding to promote a post. So for those of you who don't know, we've talked about this a little bit, but we've talked about promoting posts versus creating ads and essentially what promoting a post does. So let's see what this was. This was on Tuesday. We decided to take a post called Stay Hard. It was from a book that I was reading called Forward. It essentially is this idea that we need to continue to drive and wake up and have ambitions to essentially at the end of our life when we're sitting on, it's called a porch test. And I highlight it in a little bit in the post. So I won't go too much about it, but essentially, when you find yourself super old sitting on the porch, if you're looking back and realizing that you wish that you had done something more or different in your life, or you feel like, damn, I'm pretty proud about what I became, what I've done, and ultimately it correlates with the hashtag that we've been using called Be Somebody. You don't want to wake up one day and realize that you didn't achieve the things that you want to do. It's not a motivation. It's more of a discipline mindset. It's about waking up. And I talk about it more in the comments about this quote that I have on my bathroom window, because first thing I like to do is go to the bathroom when I wake up. Most people seem to have that same philosophy, but big on my mirror, I have this quote that says, I'll read it here: "Decide right now if today is going to be the day that you'll be somebody." So it takes initially that first mindset when you first wake up. Sometimes, I'm going to be honest, waking up is not always the easiest thing. Sometimes you just want to hit the snooze button. Sometimes you're just feeling lazy and being like, damn, I don't need to wake up at 5 o'clock, or I don't need to go work out. So when I go to the bathroom, because usually that's the one thing that actually gets me up out of the bed, is I've got to go to the bathroom so bad. So I've got it on my mirror. It says be somebody. It says kind of make that decision right there and then. If today you're going to waste another day and not progress on your goals, not make something out of yourselves, or today is going to be the decision that I'm going to continue at it. I'm going to continue to make myself better. I'm going to continue to drive forward. So this post, we took this mindset, and I saw that Acid, they've actually done something themselves regarding their post, and it kind of correlates around this same mentality. Theirs is about fitness. Ours is about discipline and continuing the grind, and I decided to promote it. So what that essentially does is promoting on Instagram allows your audience to see your post, allows a new audience to see your post, and it essentially promotes this post to a larger audience. So people that you might have not reached before. It's a sponsored ad. A lot of times when you're scrolling on Instagram, you'll see sponsored right under the post. That's what we ended up doing. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, just from looking at the insights here, in the last 5 days, so I think we're on day 5, we have 2 more days left. In the last 5 days, we've gained 34 followers, and this post alone has over 90 likes. Now, for us, for American Butchers JERKi, that is a incredible interaction that our post has seen. I don't think any post that we have done in the past has gotten us, 1, almost any followers, or 2, the amount of interaction that we've seen on this post. Now, I've highlighted before that Instagram followings, Instagram likes, Instagram interaction shouldn't be your basis. You should be doing this because you love it and you enjoy it, and that's about it. Well, it's pretty exciting when all of a sudden you see that 35 new people have decided to follow along what it is you're doing. And we're building our gym. We're building our audience. I've always kind of put into this analogy that currently we have 350 people following us on Instagram. That's enough to fill a basketball, like a high school gym. And you're pretty much think you standing in the court with 350 people sitting in the stands, and you're talking to them. You're telling them about your business, your goals, things that you're working on, things that you're trying to promote, and things that you're trying to assist with. I mean, we have this huge ambition of helping service members and sending them beef jerky and saying thank you for your support and sending them all this kind of cool stuff. And that's something that we've been doing. And to now think that 350 people are sitting in the basketball stadium and I'm up there talking to them about these goals that we have is pretty incredible. And to me, that's pretty freaking awesome that we have 350 people. So with that, I'll give you more insight into the post. Essentially, what I had done is I made it 7 days just because I wanted to see how this post would turn out. I made it $7 a day. So after 7 days, we essentially shelled out $49. And for what it's worth, I think it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the results so far. I've been at this battle. I've been at this toss between making Instagram posts organic versus making them I want to build the audience on its own rather than paying for the audience, if that makes sense. What that means is if I can make a post and someone finds it and likes it, and that's all because I've shared something or we've been pushing towards it and I haven't spent money on advertising, that's incredible. Like, I could pay Google to get people to my website and open a door, and a kind of gateway into our website. Or I can promote the business enough that me going out there, me going and posting Instagram, me going to Facebook, me going to local farmers markets and getting that sale. And that sale is organic. That sale feels like you're actually doing something and you're making an impact. And rather than paying someone to make that impact for you, you kind of feel like a bigger, better deal when you actually make that sale. So that's something that in the past week we've been kind of determining is, A, do we make these posts ourselves and we continue to drive and put that passion towards it? Or B, do we kind of outsource to promoting and gaining traction through that way? So that's something that we've kind of been battling back and forth. Honestly, we haven't found the right answer yet. But we're continuing to develop that answer each week, every time I talk about it, every time that I sit there and think about what it is that we're going to be doing next, that process goes through my head. But one thing that is actually pretty cool, something that we have really been able to do is just in the past week, we have sent over 80 bags to service members stationed at 4 different units outside the United States. That's pretty awesome. For those of you, last week we talked about the kind of everything that's happened in the last month because we took a little bit of leave. But we did this jerky 5 for 5. We did 5 burpees for every bag of beef jerky that was purchased through our website and sent overseas. So the bags were $5. We did 5 burpees. Anyways, during that event, we raised over 87 bags for service members around the world. Well, we just started packaging and actually shipped out those 80 bags to 4 different units. We were partnered with an organization that is all about Blackhawks. They reached out to us saying that they had some buddies that were currently deployed and we would love to send to their units. So we sent 80 bags to 4 different units. That brings our grand total up to almost 664 bags. That's crazy. We're almost to 1,000 bags, and we've been doing this for about a year and 3 months now. Not long at all. And just to think that the impact that you guys have been providing us and the impact that you guys, your contribution has given us the opportunity to be able to share this is pretty incredible. And it ultimately starts with the animal and the farmer. So we've been a big advocate for kind of local shopping, and supporting your local American agriculture. And something that just recently came up is our local FFA chapter out of Cambridge, Nebraska, where we were originally setting up our business. They came to us, and for those of you who don't know what FFA is, it is this organization that advocates for rural American agriculture for kids. So high school kids essentially grow animals. They talk about livestock. They talk about plants, agronomy. And what it does is it gives these kids an opportunity to – it's kind of like FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America. FFA gives kids who are in the agriculture field or who aren't in the agriculture field but find a passion for it, it gives them the opportunity to grow animals or just get into the agriculture world. And it's a pretty awesome organization, and it was something that I was actually I was a part of when I was in high school. As a kid from the city, when I moved out to Nebraska, I wanted an opportunity to kind of throw myself into this new world, into agriculture, figuring out what the heck even a combine was, or what is a cow, and what are the parts of a cow? How does it digest food? This was all something that the FFA and taking agriculture classes in high school kind of set me up for success. But the FFA local organization reached out to me in an email at the beginning of this week, and they talked about trying to set up a partnership because they want to sell bags of beef jerky for the local Cambridge community. They want to go out and raise funds not only for their organization, but also to support bags to be deployed, bags to go over to those currently stationed away from home. So That's pretty awesome. And we're currently in the process of finding the best quantity for them, figuring out best way to market for those guys, also trying to partner for their organization and potentially setting up a scholarship. They don't know this yet, and I'll give you guys this insight is I've always wanted to give a scholarship to the youth. Either that's the youth who's going into military or in this case into agriculture. Something that we've tried to do or want to set up is this scholarship, and I'll give more insight about it as we progress forward. But that's just something that I've been super passionate about, is trying to give back to another community, a community that in this case preserves and advocates for American agriculture on the local level. And we've done the outsource to troops and military service members, and we want to kind of bring that attention back home. And so I thought, what better way than, for example, who sells the most bags gets a scholarship of some way, shape, or form. And I think that's a pretty cool idea. So we'll kind of talk more about that in the upcoming episodes. But for now, that's something that we're currently working on. And that kind of transitions into what we're currently doing now for American Butchers JERKi, is that idea that we're trying to, figure out the best stance, the best way that we can assist local communities for agriculture. And this FFA kind of idea is a really good one that I'm super passionate about. And so I'm pretty excited with that. Talking about currently what else we're setting up with, that is a big thing that I'm currently doing. I'm trying to figure out ways to advocate for American Butchers JERKi to continue to grow and develop. Something that we're currently also trying to do is incorporate larger interaction with social media. A lot of this that I've seen from businesses is just the engagement through social media and how important social media is on the business side. I feel that now in the modern day of businesses, social media is the name of the game. And I don't think we can effectively run a business or promote a business without the incorporation of social media. And so something that I'm trying to do into the next week, into our next Founders Log, is I'm trying to develop a schedule because I want to post things consistently. Consistency is key in this game. Consistency, providing our audience an opportunity to know exactly when we're going to post, talking about what it is that we're posting, and giving them this idea that we're here every day, and kind of showing them that we want to be here and we want you to believe in us. And in order to do that, I've got to continue to show up. We got to continue to make this organization bigger and better. And we've got to do it by applying to the heart. So we want to make you feel that we are doing something because we are. And we want to support an organization, and that organization is military service members deployed around the world. And we also want to take that approach to supporting military members, but also supporting our community. And that kind of segues into our final topic of conversation here, which is the future. Something that we're kind of advocating for, something that I'm kind of working on, is I want to build the goals of our community. We've set goals for ourselves here at American Butchers JERKi, but I also want to make sure that our audience is setting goals and our audience is achieving their goals. It's awesome that American Butchers can achieve their goals, but I want to create that platform, and I want to essentially allow us as an organization to be an advocate, be a motivational drive for you. We want to use our platform, use our resources, use JERKi to assist in you going the extra mile, you going to do ultimately the be somebody. We want you to tackle the things that you want to do. So something that I'm going to try and incorporate is this type of event, this type of campaign that essentially allows you and us to partner in some way, shape, or form of creating goals. So here in the near future, American Butchers JERKi is going to share their goals. Not only the company's goals, but my as a personal individual goals. And what that I'm hoping to do is actually get a response and engagement through all of you. What are your personal goals? What do you expect to achieve in the next week? What do you expect to achieve in the next month? And with those goals, how are you achieving those goals? How are you continuing to tackle those goals? And ultimately, have you achieved those goals? And if you have, we'd love to know about it. We'd love to share it. We'd love to partner with you and continue to make those goals bigger and better. Ultimately, you don't want to be the top dog in your room. You want to be the low dog, because as you continue to get better and better, you have at least a goal to work towards, and you have people in your room that are bigger and better than you because they're teaching you things. They're making you work harder. And that's something that we want to kind of advocate for, is we want to assist you in the best way possible. And I know it might sound cliche, but your goals don't even have to apply to us. It could be personal goals. It could be business goals. It could be family goals. But that's something that we're going to try and work on in the upcoming week, in the upcoming month, is trying to advocate for those goals, trying to get bigger and better together. And so we could use your assistance not only with our personal goals, but also with achieving your personal goals. So I think that covers a lot. We've talked a pretty good amount just about everything from the past, the present, and the future. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you all for listening. I hope to catch you guys in next week's episode as we continue to progress forward and we continue to grow as a business. So thank you all for listening. Without further ado, you guys have a great day.